If you have been away from your fitness journey for any length of time, you might be asking yourself the question, how do I start my fitness journey after a long break? In today's video, I want to go over with you a couple different tips that I have for getting restarted on your fitness journey. It might have been a month-long break, a 6-month-long break, or it could be a 10-year-long break. These are some of the strategies that I have found to be helpful in myself and in other people that I have worked with. Hi, my name is Heather Monty, and this YouTube channel is dedicated towards a healthy lifestyle for women of all different ages. We have lots of great content for those of you that are over 40, but I've also got some really great content for those of you that are of any age. Let's talk about the first strategy to restarting your fitness journey after a long break. And that first strategy is to just start slow and simple. You don't want to go back to what you were doing when you started your fitness break, whatever it might be. So maybe you had an injury, maybe you had an illness, or maybe life just got in the way and you had to step away from your regular fitness activities. And you don't want to go back to, if you were the kind of person that you were lifting weights in the gym, 5 days a week, an hour each time, you're not going to go back to doing that right away. You're just first of all, you're setting yourself up for frustration because you're going to get to the gym and realize that you can't do it. And then you're also setting yourself up for potential injury. So you don't necessarily want to start with where you left off, whether it was 6 months ago or 10 years ago. So you want to start small. One thing that I have found for myself when I have some sort of a break from working out, whatever it may be, the thing that I have found always works well for me is I like to do two different things. The first is I go to yoga class, and it doesn't necessarily need to be one of those hot power, super fast vinyasa classes. It can be a restorative class, a yin class, a slow flow, something like that. But just getting in that routine of getting myself up off the couch, dressed, out the door to the yoga studio. Okay. So that right there, that whole process of just getting there, that's part of it. But then when I get there, I'm doing an activity that I love doing, first of all. And second of all, it's not super strenuous. It's right where I probably am as far as fitness wise. It's exactly what I need. Okay. And my second thing is that if I take a little break from lifting weights, I've been lifting weights for 30 years. That does not mean I've been lifting weights for 30 years every single week. I have taken weeks off. I've even had to take months off due to injuries. Okay. So coming back, I know I absolutely love doing a back workout. I know it might be weird to some people. Like, why do you like doing back? A lot of people like doing legs. A lot of people like doing arms. You can see them. But for me, it just feels good. Those are big muscles in your back and it just feels good, right? That doesn't mean that's what you have to do. So what I want you to do is just think about what is it that you like to do? And then how can you sort of scale it back to where you are right now? Maybe it's walking, maybe it's going for a swim, and it's not just swimming laps. It might just be going in and kicking your legs in the water or treading water, something like that. So the first tip here is to just start slow, start simple, and just get back into that routine of setting aside time each day that you're going to dedicate to your fitness journey. The next is to set realistic goals and to plan ahead. If you've listened to any of my videos about goal setting, I do advocate for using the SMART method. However, I do feel like there is some downsides to using the SMART method of goal setting. And if you're not familiar with the SMART method, it's you need to set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And one issue I do have with the SMART goal method is that oftentimes when you're embarking into a new area that you don't know all that well, oftentimes you don't know if your goal is realistic or if the time that you have set on that particular goal is realistic. So I do think that it's important to set these smaller goals. So if you're getting restarted on your fitness journey, it might just be something like, I'm going to go on a walk every morning before work at 6 a.m. Okay. What we're not going to do is, create these humongous goals where we're boiling the ocean and we don't know if we can do it. And, you haven't worked out in, 10 years and you want to do an Ironman triathlon in 6 months. Okay. So what we don't want to do is don't want to get these super huge, like, holy crap type of goals. That's certainly a goal to have if you want to do an Ironman triathlon. That's certainly a goal to have. But let's start taking some of those smaller steps towards getting there and making sure that the time that we're setting it in is realistic as well. So your goal might just be, I'm going to go for a walk every morning before work. Or I'm going to go for a walk every day at lunchtime after I eat my lunch. Or I'm going to create a meal plan for my family for 3 nights this week. And I'm going to do the grocery shopping and I'm going to get all the ingredients. And so that when I get home and I need to cook, it's there, it's ready to go. Or maybe you're going to prep the food on Sunday before your work week begins. Something like this. You're just going to set some really, really, really simple short term goals. It might even be just for the day. So if today is Sunday and you're like, I need to get back to it here, maybe your goal is just tomorrow morning, get up and go for a walk. That's it. Okay. And make it very simple so that you can achieve that goal and you can get sort of these quick wins. It gives you a little bit more motivation when you're like, yes, I did it. And then you want to keep going further. And the third thing is just listen to your body. If you are doing something and it's painful, you need to stop. Don't do it. If you're doing something and you don't like doing it, stop. Don't do it. I want you to find things that you enjoy doing that you are able to do, that you're able to do them without risk of injury, without risk of hurting yourself. If you've been away from weightlifting for any length of time and you come back to it, you might be a little bit sore. A little bit of muscle soreness is totally normal, but if you're in pain, that's a problem. Okay. And so, really just listen to your body. If you need a rest, take a rest, but don't use it as an excuse to not achieve your goal. That if you wake up one morning and you're sore and you need a rest day, say to yourself, I'm going to take a rest day today. It wasn't planned, but I'm going to take a rest day today. And maybe I'm going to do some light stretching instead and use that time that you have dedicated to doing an exercise, to working out, to going on a walk, to going to the gym and focus it on something that you are able to do that particular day. So maybe it's something like some light stretching, some restorative yoga, something like that. All right. So really just listen to your body, give yourself some grace. You're back, you're doing the things and you're showing up for yourself. So those are my 3 tips for those of you who are trying to restart your fitness journey. If you've been away up for a long break, those are the 3 things that I think you just focus on those for the first couple weeks, even the first couple of months of just getting back into that routine, really paying attention to where you are and listening to your body. So if you are interested, I do have a Secrets to Healthy Habits workshop and goal setting workshop where I go in to a little bit more detail. And, if you've got some bad habits that maybe you think you want to break, or maybe you want to add in some more good habits or healthy habits into your life, I've got a workshop where I can help you identify what some of those are. And then from there, setting some goals and doing some goal setting strategy. And like I said earlier, I think the SMART method is a great method to use. It's used a lot in business, but we're going to use that partially in our goal setting strategy and to help you figure out what is a realistic goal for you, what is the right time for that particular goal. So if you are interested in that, you can go to heathermonthly.com/webinars. That's where I've got all sorts of great information there for you. I will have a direct link to the workshop in the description as well if you'd like to check it out. Talk to you soon.